Let's take a look at the Browns' offense. 53-man roster as it currently stands. There will be some tweaks. You see the quarterbacks, no surprise. Dearness Johnson and Demetric Felton listed as a running back, just one fullback. Only 3 tight ends. That's another area they could look to as a 4th tight end. Only 5 wide receivers. 10, count them 10 offensive linemen. As I mentioned earlier, Michael Dunn, potential candidate for short-term IR, which would mean he'd miss at least 3 weeks. So, Jeff, when you look at that, what jumps out about that roster? What do you see when we look at the offensive side of the ball? The 10 offensive linemen surprised me a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, Dave. And if Dunn goes to the IR, that takes care of it. Normally, teams don't carry 10 offensive linemen. So that would take care of that, and then you see what happens. Unfortunately, by the time some of the guys who get put on IR are ready to come off, other guys are going to be out. That's just the nature of the game. So that surprises me a little bit. The 5 wide receivers, a little bit, but again, it goes back to Demetric Felton. What do they really think of Felton? Because if for him to get on the field at running back, Dave, I don't know exactly how they're going to pull that off when you have to get your carries for Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. And Dearness Johnson's pretty good. So I would think that Felton is going to be doing a lot of different things, and they may actually think of him more as a wide receiver than a running back, in which case you have 6 guys that can line up at wide receiver.
Yeah, the thing is they motioned him out and threw the ball to him, and again, that's kind of Kevin Stefanski's MO. If you can line him up in the backfield and identify a linebacker on him, covering him, they'll take that every day, all day, every day.
Yeah, and the guy looks intriguing at the very least. I want to see more of him. But are we going to get a chance to do that? With Kareem and Nick, okay, how many opportunities is he going to get? How many is Dearness Johnson going to get? I think in his first 2 years, Dearness has something like 40 NFL carries, and he's averaging over 5 yards a carry. He can do the job. I actually like him, but he's playing behind Chubb and Hunt. 2 guys who are about as good as you get at that position. So we're talking about spots that if these guys end up playing a significant role, it's because something went wrong. So I think we all need to kind of keep that in mind about this.
The other thing is, would you be surprised if they added a 4th tight end? They like to play 2 tight end sets. One of those guys gets banged up.
Carlson was there last year, right? And he was hurt. So I don't know. And the only reason I say that, if you're going to play 2 tight end sets, you'll still have one guy standing over on the sidelines. So maybe they just play the heck out of these 3 guys and wait and see how that plays out, and know that they could probably go get a tight end who could come in and help them out if they decide to do that.
All right.
That's why I thought Johnny Stanton might have an outside chance of unseating Andy Janovich for that fullback spot, because Stanton lined up at tight end a little bit in the preseason. So I don't, and that didn't happen. They didn't cut Andy Janovich and keep Johnny Stanton.
I would think Stanton's a guy they probably hope they can get back on the practice squad. He was intriguing as a ball carrier as well. They lined him up and gave him the football some. Clearly he can play fullback, and they used him as a tight end. So that's a guy like Felton. If you can get him and develop him, it gives you some roster flexibility.